Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here. We're back with our weekly recap for the week of February 21st, 2019. This is our weekly recap of all things Injustice. The current character challenge is Mortal Kombat X Scorpion. That's a 1 week long repeat challenge. The required characters are Cyborg, Solomon Grundy, and Catwoman, which is bronze all across the board if you're looking at the easiest way to get them, which is pretty good for new players, which is, I think, one of the better served populations by the character challenges.
I think so, actually. As the game gets older, you're going to have people dropping off, and the fact that you can even attract new players, you want to do the least amount of discouraging kind of setups, right? You don't want to push away any of the guys who might be finding it late and still enjoying it. So, Mortal Kombat X Scorpion. I've never been a big fan of any of the Scorpions. And alright, so this is totally in the weeds and off the top of my head, but given that fetish that NetherRealm has of using K...
can we not use that word?
Alright. Their tendency to use K instead of C's in all things Mortal Kombat, right? So, you know how they have the combat pack, which is K, and the, is it coins, which is K. I'm surprised it isn't spelled Scorpion with a K instead of a C.
I mean, that's, I think it's probably because they tend to do the K right at the beginning of the word.
It might be.
But
it's pretty prominent.
I mean...
alright, so getting back to just the characters, I mean, there's that overlap, right? These are pulled from Mortal Kombat. They're not DC characters. I've never been a big fan of them because they're slow and typically have a 2-hit swipe or the heavy combo. And even if the damage is in line with what their attack should be, that it still generates less power because it's fewer hits. Now, for this one in particular, Mortal Kombat X, the passive of auto crit hits for the, auto critical damage over time, if you get 200%, it's kind of cool. And his special 2 gives bleed damage, which we like, but it doesn't make up for his flaws. And the bleed damage, of course, it's anytime there's a special with a special effect. Yeah, it reduces the damage. Now, he makes a decent tank because of the passive that boosts his health for every promotion. And we tend to favor tanks that have at least some offensive potential. And in this case, the DOT, the damage over time, works exactly how I like it. So he's not bad compared to the other Scorpions. Yeah, I think that's all I got to say about Scorpion.
For this week's multiplayer award, we have Nightwing's Ninjato, which becomes the brandished Ninjato, or is it Nightwing Ninjato? Is there a possessive apostrophe there? I don't remember.
I don't remember either. We'll see on the video.
It's either way. It has a lot of potential. Still haven't really found a place for it, I think, in any of our teams that is better than our current loadout for our Justice League team or our Splash Damage team. So it's not that it's bad, it's just that it doesn't really have a place with who we're looking at.
Yeah, we're looking for use for it right now. The interesting part, I mean, there's a sort of, you can break it down into two sort of elements, right? There's a part that's the tanky part where you absorb the splash damage, you reduce the splash damage, and you have higher health. Then I think that's really it. I mean, the team that relies heavily on multi-hit specials that we use with Justice League or Luchador Bane on our splash damage team. Yeah, we're protected against the tag-in that stuns and wipes out the other team with splash, right? So since we don't run into it, those kind of abilities aren't nearly as useful for us. I mean, it's basically what we're doing to other teams, right? Yeah. With Luchador Bane and tagging in repeatedly and stunning and then wiping them out.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's good. It has potential, but it's not, game changing. It's not necessarily enough to fully kind of
not unless
restructure.
If you're working with a team that is vulnerable to that and you have trouble with it, then it might be useful for you.
Yeah. In the store, we have Earth 2 Flash for $26.99 Canadian. That's not worth it. It's only one copy, and you won't unlock in the store. And another reason why it's not worth it is that this is a repeat challenge, or it has the potential of being a repeat challenge, I should say. Right. Because the packs give an indication of what the next challenge is. So it's likely that even if you don't already have him, you'll be able to actually unlock him.
Yeah, most of the time it is, but not always, because sometimes when they have an update, that'll change things. Yeah. And sometimes they have more than one cash pack at a time.
Yeah, and then it's sort of a grab bag. Yeah. We also have the New 52 Wonder Woman Challenge Pack with the 6.16% chance of getting them instead of the usual 2.86%, and that's 50,000 more per pack than the regular challenge pack. As always, not worth it.
Right. I mean, she's a great character. She is the cornerstone of our Justice League team.
Yeah.
Without her, that team would be not nearly as good. And even then, this pack isn't worth it.
Yeah, because just crunching the numbers, it doesn't give you enough added value to make it worth spending so much more.
Yep.
You wouldn't be able to quite buy twice as many packs with the normal challenge pack as opposed to this for the double chance, but you would be able to sell back and continue to buy more packs at a rate, which means that if you're looking for just one copy, I think you're probably almost just as good either way. And as long as she's not the only character that you don't have fully maxed out, it's definitely better to buy the challenge pack and get your rewards.
Right.
In the I was gonna say in the Survivor pack, but we also have the Survivor pack
in the store.
In the store, we also have the Survivor pack for 595,000. I guess this is one of the Survivor packs, right?
There's a bunch of them. That's right. Yep.
So this is it comes with Batgirl, who was in last week's Survivor pack, and the Femme Fatale pack. Arkham Origins Deathstroke, which is great with boosted damage, and Containment Doomsday, which from our old sort of grinding team, you could probably tell that we have a little bit of a fondness for him because his stats give you lower matchups, but he effectively has much more attack and health, and he also has some effective shielding from higher damage specials.
Right, so the single hits he's protected from because it compartmentalizes it when he revives. So here's the thing. I mean, we saw the comparison last week. Femme Fatale pack was at a discount only 300,000 for 3 characters, including this Batgirl. So you're paying way more. It's a good team. I like them all, right? I mean, when Arkham Origins Deathstroke came out, he was probably the single best character with all that extra damage from each promotion. But even as good as the team is, it's still probably too expensive to recommend.
Yeah.
The problem is there's no alternative targeted team pack right now.
Yeah,
so,
but just given how quickly they rotate out, it probably isn't worth it investing in this one, just because there's a good chance that if you are spending your money on this one, unless you already have the money to get them to where you want them, it's going to rotate out before you have an opportunity to actually max them out.
And for the people who are trying to max out one team, the better strategy might be, instead of buying the pack that you can barely afford, save maybe 2 million.
Yeah.
So that when a pack comes in that you like...
Especially, what was the 300,000 one?
That was the Femme Fatale.
Yeah, that's okay.
Because it was, I think, 10% off. It was like normally 330,000.
Yeah.
300,000 is a steal.
Because that's really sort of the pack, I think. That's probably the best to get a team from.
And even if you're desperate for it, by the time you save $2 million or $2 million power credits, you could buy enough of this team to bring them to, E3, save a bit more, get to E4. Yeah. And then you've got a really good team that could completely finish the single player mode.
Yeah, and of course you sort of have to do the calculus of when exactly you stop purchasing stuff to get that grind up to 2 million credits, but that's sort of a personal decision, I would say. Phantom Zone, it's gone, and it's reminding us it's gone after each fight, whether we're online or offline. Interestingly enough, only on the account that did not complete it.
Right.
So if you've completed Phantom Zone, it won't remind you, but if you haven't completed it, it will remind you after every fight.
See, and I'm not sure if it'll be just one completion, because that account that's no longer showing it was completed with all the buy-ins too. So.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Survivor, still broken on Android. Still only giving out Suicide Squad companion gear, and it's currently showing Suicide Squad companion gear with an end date of 27th of February, 2019. So that's maybe useful to iOS users, definitely not useful to Android users.
Right.
Moving on to the current glitches, just remember that every working glitch is explained in a video as part of the playlist that you can reach by clicking the I in the top right corner of this video. We're Android only, so we're only able to confirm these glitches for Android.
All right. So if you're on iOS, did you just mention that?
No.
All right. So if you see a question from an iOS user asking for help in the comments, consider helping them out, because we don't have that expertise. What we'll start with is the significant not working glitches, because our list actually has all the working glitches. It's more up to date than waiting each week for this.
And we can build up to our favorite part of the video.
Yes. All right, so right now there is no working glitch for credits. And we talked about the next point in more detail in this week's Season 6, Episode 9, P and Q and C and A and T, which is a very fancy Q&A, but it's podcast questions, comments, and answers and talk.
Yep.
But it's probably worth repeating to the larger audience that sees this weekly recap. Some people have been successfully exploiting a glitch that requires 2 devices being logged simultaneously into one account. Now, we only endorse and recommend glitches that we test and confirm ourselves. And being logged into one account on 2 devices is not a glitch that we're willing to test for all the reasons that we talk about. The biggest one being it's the only time we've ever had an account suspended.
Yeah.
Unintentionally, inadvertently, just because for no other reason that we're sure of, that except for being on 2 devices at the same time.
Yeah.
So we can't test. Well, we refuse to test it, and I'm sure there's the fact that people have been saying it works is a good indication. We just can't endorse that.
Yeah. The glitch for getting repeated past multiplayer season rewards, not working. Glitch for early multiplayer season rewards, also not working. And there is currently no glitch to get through the Phantom Zone quickly.
If it was even there.
Yeah. Now we can start talking about the working glitches. The breakthrough glitch to let you play it repeatedly is still working. We've cut and pasted into the description a comment from a viewer who has a solution for people who are having trouble playing extra breakthroughs. We can't confirm or deny whether this works because we're not having the same issue, but you can go ahead and check that out if you are.
All right, so the challenge reset method that requires Google Play Cloud Save, that is still working. It's been confirmed on the current Mortal Kombat X Scorpion challenge. And we can say with a certain degree of confidence that when Phantom Zone is around, that it will reset Phantom Zone progress. So if you're going to be doing the challenge reset when the Phantom Zone is around, make sure that any progress that's there is progress that you're willing to lose.
The airplay mode / refund glitch is still working, good with packs with random drops and also for last laugh tickets. We should point out that it doesn't work in the Phantom Zone for us because it requires an online connection. iOS users have indicated that by logging out before the final boss fight and switching accounts immediately, if you don't like your reward, you can re-roll your Phantom Zone portal reward, but we haven't been able to get it to work with Android devices, even with clearing app data. And just a quick reminder that using the refund glitch and the cheapest Phantom Zone pack, you can get 40 metal every time you happen to roll a metal character, as long as you already have at least 1 copy and you're able to sell it. As Jonathan Hung notes, who also noted the initial exploit, it's pretty tedious. Probably not. It wasn't worth his time. Probably not worth your time. Not worth our time either. Just because you can do it doesn't mean
arbitrage. It reminds me. I don't know why. I saw a video recently where people were, when something goes on sale and discounted, they buy a whole bunch of the stuff, and then they resell it again for the profit. But then it means that you miss out when Walmart clears out their seasonal whatever.
Yeah.
And this is that same idea where you're taking advantage of the small difference in between what you can buy.
It's like day trading.
It is. It literally is. Except day trading, you're doing it on a larger scale with bigger sums of money, so that
and it's for something of actual value.
Yeah. Well, we can argue about that too. There's no objects there, but because of the scale, you're actually doing way more work to buy and sell this kind of stuff, and that's the same idea. Where if you're working on a scale that small, it becomes not efficient and pretty tedious.
Yeah. Time shifting still works in Android for unlimited survivor play and energy recharges. As always, return your counter clock back to normal before you finish.
And the free energy without having to watch the video still works. And even though you may not be seeing it so much on our video, we do get that button ungrayed out intermittently, and we definitely have not needed to watch the video. For iOS users, Dragons952 had a potential solution. It's cut and pasted in the description. If the button is grayed out for iOS users, but we can't confirm whether it works or not. So it's just something to try if you're so inclined.
And finally, in between the not working and working glitches existing in a sort of limbo, we have the promotion glitch. And once upon a time, it would allow you to promote characters that are still locked, but it has not had the right conditions since update 2.14. So it's still not testable and still not usable. Initially, it was kept here because we had a sort of attention to detail, and we wanted to be technically accurate, and we wanted to keep it on the list until we could actually prove that the glitch had failed. And there was, I think, some talk about being able to use it if it ever did come up, and now it's here because it's been here for so long that it would feel wrong to remove it.
And just to your choice of words, limbo. The first time I ever learned the word limbo was in Rom the Space Knight comic book that Marvel Comics put out. It was a tie-in to toys. I don't know why it occurred to me now.
So there we go.
It's all tied in. Marvel, DC comic books, everything is all this video YouTubing stuff we do. It's all tied in.
Time is a flat circle. We have a Patreon, and if you want to support us, You can click on our avatar at the bottom right corner at the end of the video. Go to patreon.com/bdckr. Find your own way there. Figure it out and toss us a couple bucks a month, and we would super appreciate it.
Yeah, if you're so inclined.
And to show our appreciation, to show that we're not just blowing smoke up your skirt, we will now take a moment to actually genuinely appreciate the people who have already decided to make that choice and support us.
So a big thank you to Console Peasant, Eddie G, and Edwin Felix, who are supporting us at the top tier Last Word. iProfit, also known as iProfit3 on YouTube, who's supporting us at the Your Message Here tier. And Sean Farrell and Daniel Simonson, who are supporting us on the credited level.
So thank you guys so much for your support, and thank you all so much for watching. We will see you guys next time.
Komoda.